Hello guys and welcome to SoulFIT Day 1. Whoa, so excited for this. As you guys are coming in, I'm just going to give you a big warm welcome. This is a brand new practice, and a brand new practice for you as much as it is a brand new practice for me teaching. So it is really special to me that I get to do this with you guys, and obviously having connected with you all on here already in our training, so now we get to just really expand on everything that we've talked about in here and start to bring some of these things that we were talking about in our body back into our physical moving selves. Yay! Hi Jane, how are you? Hi Delphine, how are you going? So as you guys are coming in, just pop a little comment, let me know where you are in the world. Give me some muscles if you are ready to move, and maybe you can just let me know once we start. I'll prompt you just to let me know that you can see me and hear me. Okay, I'm so excited. I've been dancing around the house a little bit. So we will dive right in, but before we start today, I just thought that I would give you a little bit of an introduction, a little bit more about SoulFIT before we start, and to let you know that we do have a couple little props that we will need along the way. So I'll be posting those into the event the day before, into the event invite, and then I'll also let you know as soon as we start every day as well. Hey Jess, how are you? What an amazing little group we have today. So are you guys all ready to go? Are you ready to roll? Do you have your mats? I'm super excited for this. So this is going to be 5 days for you to really reset, reconnect, come back to self, find your personal power, really find embodiment again, right? Maybe at this time on the planet you felt a little bit up in the air and you haven't felt as connected to your body. So we're going to go into all of this as we go, but this week is really all about you and connecting back, right? Connecting back. So we're going to go for around 20 minutes, and the props for today, so I have a small bathroom towel that I have just rolled up. So there's that for me, but if you have a pillowcase, or if you have, some people use a large table napkin, so anything like that is going to be just super perfect. All right, cool. So quick announcements and then we get started. Also, if you want a towel just to prop under your butt, like when we're sitting, or if you have a knee injury, you want to put your knees on a towel when we're kneeling on the mat, you might like that as well. Okay, so very quickly, what is SoulFIT? What is SoulFIT? SoulFIT to me is where science meets spirituality. So it's feel-good movement. It's helping us to find freedom in our bodies by resetting our nervous system. It's designed to open and stabilize our energy channels, balance our bodily systems. There is just so much. So what I'm going to do today is actually just share a welcome video with you guys in the group that explains it all in more detail, because today I just really want to dive into the movement practice with you guys. But as we talk a lot about our authentic self, moving into our authentic self, these sequences are really designed to do that for you. So they're just so powerful in so many ways. So, and of course, I'll talk about all the bits and pieces, the polyvagal theory, the vestibular system, all these things that you might hear me talk about today in the movement practice, I'm going to talk about in depth in the workshop next week. So don't worry too much about it. Just enjoy the practice. Yay! So I'll pop the link into the comments down here afterwards. If you're not signed up for SoulFIT, you'll get your worksheet, and then you'll also be in the running for prizes and goodies, because I have incentives for you that I'm going to share with you tomorrow as well. So I'll pop that link into the comments. You can do that after the session. So yeah, at this time on the planet, you know, more sensory awareness needed, more embodiment. We want to be in our bodies, especially now. So I'll talk more about this as time goes on, but this is one of the main reasons why SoulFIT is what it is. So today's theme, let's talk quickly about that, and then we move. So for today, I want you to just begin to play in this idea of giving yourself a fresh start. So whatever that might mean to you, but just having a think about, how do I in my life, how do I in my body, how do I even in my mind and my soul need to give myself a fresh start? We're cleaning the slate. We might need to start again. It may mean with our movement practice that we need to allow ourselves to go back to beginner's mode. Certainly for me, I have had to do that in many ways. So just this idea of giving yourself a fresh start and finding what feels good. So as we're doing the flow, I'm going to give you certain options, and just finding the one that feels best. It might not be the one that looks the most perfect, or that you think you should be doing for this reason or that reason, but maybe there is a reason behind it if it feels good to you and you feel like you need it. So we're really tapping back into our bodies and asking ourselves, really, what is it that we need? Yay! All right, so just choosing what feels good. We're pulling back from this push energy that has been so strong and frequent on the planet. So yeah, and if you have been in my sessions before, you've been in my classes, you might know, like, there was this perfectionism about technique, like it was so important. So a lot of this stuff that we're learning, that you will be learning this week, it's really kind of polar opposite to what I had learned in fitness for many years, or much of what I had learned. So it may also trigger questions in you as well. So if you have any questions about anything, feel free to reach out. But I know that I am still unraveling, I am still relearning, and it's all part of this process for healing and finding more personal power. Cool. So for today, let's close down our eyes just to start. You might be on your mat already. I am not on my mat because I want you to see my full body, so I'll move back in a minute. But have a seat on your mat, put me down somewhere where you can still see, but you can get into your own energy and your own bubble. And just taking a nice seat on your mat. You can cross your legs. And then just closing down the eyes for a moment, placing your hands on your knees, taking a beautiful deep breath in through your nose, breathing out through your mouth, and really just arriving. Let's just arrive here. You guys are awesome. You have hit the mat. You're doing the thing. Take a beautiful deep breath in through your body, and then breathing out through your mouth. And what we want to do here is we're leaving behind any feelings that you have, any judgment that you have on yourself from the past, judgment on your body, the way that it looks, the way that it's fueled, the way that it moves, the way that it feels. Any guilt that we might have, about the way that we treat ourselves sometimes. We're leaving all of this behind. And I want you to imagine in your mind's eye a beautiful big whiteboard, a huge, big, shiny whiteboard in front of you. Taking a deep breath in. And on this whiteboard, imagine yourself now with a really easy to use marker, just writing all of these things that you feel, all of this judgment that may have been placed on you, any inner critic talk about your body. And you just see all these words just writing. There may be small, short sentences, just writing on this whiteboard. Write them all down. Taking a big deep breath in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. And once that whiteboard is just filled with all the judgment, any guilt, any just ill feelings towards yourself, about your body, about the way that it moves or the way that you treat it or the way that it looks. And we're going to reach now with the mind's eye and pick up the world's biggest whiteboard eraser, easy to use, and it slides so smoothly across the whiteboard surface, and you're just going to scrub them all out. Scrub them all out. Today is a fresh start. Today is a new day. Anything we have done, learned, felt in the past can just be left behind for now. And once that whiteboard is completely clean, just place one hand on your heart and the other hand on your belly, and take a beautiful deep breath in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth. And one more breath in. Through your nose. Out through your mouth. And just say this mantra with me, which we'll take with us throughout the session. I give myself a fresh start. I give myself a fresh start. And just take a couple deep breaths in, feel that belly rise. Repeating this mantra to yourself. I give myself a fresh start. When you are ready, you can open your eyes, come back into the space with me. You can drop those hands down and just take one last deep breath in, and you may just pop one hand back on the belly just to make sure that that belly is rising as you breathe in. So breathing in through your nose all together and breathing out all your air. Okay. If someone can just give me a little thumbs up into the comments that you can see and hear me okay now that I'm on the mat. I just want to make sure that my mic is working fine and everything before we start. So today is a fresh start. How can you give yourself a fresh start? I'm going to be, thank you so much for the thumbs up. I am going to be sharing, little bits and pieces how we can give ourselves a fresh start as we go. But let's get moving, and that's just our question to self today as we move through. Okay, so legs crossed, and arms can just be by your sides, fingertips just gently placed on the floor. We're going to find a really nice upright posture. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. And just rocking back and forth on those sit bones, just for you to find center. And we lower the shoulders, relaxed and down. And we're simply going to bring our palms to ceiling, bring our arms up and over. Hello, Mr. Plant, you're a little close. Taking a big deep breath in. And then palms down to the ground, breathing out all the way down. Breathing in, taking those arms all the way up overhead. Breathing out, palms down. And we're going to do this 2 more times, and what I want you to think about now is just really, as we breathe in, thinking about that breath going down. So instead of that breath going up with our arms, it's going down into our belly. Breathing out now, arms coming out and down. So again, breathing in, and that breath goes down, all the way down into our belly. So we ground down through those hips, ground down through those legs, and releasing arms all the way down. Mr. Plant, you are friendly today. So one more. Breathing in, grounding down through that belly, down through the hips, and then breathing out all our air. So we want to feel our hips kind of sinking into the mat. We want to feel our belly really having this earth energy with it. So now over to one side. So you might just bend that right elbow of yours and bringing that left arm up and over. A nice breath in, and then again breathing out as we bring that hand down and over to the other side. And as we're breathing in here again, just like really grounding through those hips and not letting those legs lift off or their butt lift off, just really grounding down and feeling this earth energy. Coming back to center. Okay, one last time, arms come up overhead. And then breathing out and down. Okay, we're going to uncross feet here. So you might like to put your left foot in front and right foot behind, and just a nice easy placement of the feet, just one in front of the other one. You'll feel those knees kind of drop to the side, and that's okay. And again, we want to feel like this heaviness in our lower body. So you're going to grab your prop. So it might be a pillowcase, it might be it's a little small hand towel. Actually, it's a pretty big hand towel in my case. And we have our arms out at shoulder height. And as we breathe in now, we're going to lift those arms. So a nice breath in, we're grounding down through the hips. You might draw up and in through that belly, taking those arms overhead. And then as you breathe out, bringing the arms back down. So this is like really nice and taut. I'm really pulling on this towel, and that's giving us the resistance. So a nice breath in, and shoulders come down and back, and then breathing out. Breathing in and up, but remembering that that breath actually doesn't go up. The arms are going up, and the breath is going down, and the belly is coming out. Breathing out on the way down. So really just concentrating now, keeping those shoulders down, keeping that core engaged, and really grounding down through that lower body. 3 more. 2. And last one. Okay, we're coming straight back up. So breathing in, coming straight back up. And now we're going over to your right side. So just a slight bend here, just below the ribs. So don't worry about what it looks like. Don't worry about how much you're bending. We don't want to like push into flexibility. And coming back up. We just want to, and you can just keep that breath steady at the moment. We just want to give a slight bend. And just finding our rhythm here, and keeping an extension in those hands, grounding down through the glutes and hips. Okay, keeping that towel nice and taut, those arms, you might be feeling a little bit of fire in them now, or a little bit of heat. And what we're going to do is take them over to your left side and then around the right, and we're going to draw a rainbow. So coming all the way up and over. And then you're going to round through your spine and move forward, keeping that towel nice and taut. And up and over. Again, not worrying about what you look like. I've got a wonky mom board that I am like working on over here. So forgetting really about this very particular technique and just finding what feels good in this motion. So over for the last time. Rounding through that back and then coming up to center. Now we bring the arms down, knuckles come together, and you're just taking a nice little rest here. Taking a nice deep breath in. We're finding center. We've done a lot of grounding in the hips, so you might just wiggle them around a little bit. Okay, and now you might keep your towel in your hands, and then our feet come out in front of us into a little mini boat, and then we're swapping over legs. Okay, so your right foot will be in front, our left foot behind, and let's go. Towel out, keeping that towel nice and taut. We're grounding down through those hips. Nice breath in, and up with those arms. Breathing out. And so shoulders stay down and relaxed. And we're grounding down in those hips. Keeping that towel nice and taut because that's giving us our resistance here for this exercise. Two more, and then last one in your own time. All right, holding it here, nice breath in. We're going straight back up, and then we are going over to your left side. To your left side. A nice breath in, and it's just easy breathing here. And then all the way over to your right side. And one more time, keeping that towel nice and taut. Easy breathing. Back to center, coming down. And then we're going over to your right, and we're going to do this little rainbow. All the way over, bending through, we're going to round through that spine. And all the way up and over to your right side, round through the spine. And one more here, nice and slow, rounding through your spine. You might feel a little bit of heat now in those upper arms. And then bringing those knuckles together for a nice little rest here. All right, you can put your little prop down for now. And we want to just find our breath again, find our center, breathing in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth. And what we're going to throw in here is a little vagus nerve reset exercise. So you'll take your left hand all the way on top of your head, and we're just going to bring, you'll just bring your left ear to your left shoulder. And once we're here, and this doesn't need to be a strained movement, once we're here, we're going to take those eyes to look up to the right side of your room. So looking right up to the ceiling. And you're holding this here. We're going to hold this for 30 seconds. So I'm just talking through some technique, and you're just holding, and your eyes are looking up to the right hand side of your body, up to the ceiling. Taking some nice deep breaths in. And you want to let that belly rise and really sort of sink back down into your seat. And if you want, like if cross-legged is more comfortable for you now, you can move back into that cross-legged position. And it doesn't need to be like a super strong, tense hold with the neck. It's just this hand placed gently on the top of the head, and then those eyes moving up to the opposite side. Take another deep breath in, and we'll swap over sides. So bringing your right hand, and just gently bringing that right ear to right shoulder, and then taking the eyes up, opposite side to the ceiling. And we're holding this for 30 seconds. 30 seconds is the minimum for this exercise. You can do it up to 1 or 2 minutes. Usually when we're first starting, 30 seconds is enough. But this is a beautiful, just beautiful vagus nerve reset that you can do at any time of day as well. It doesn't have to be in your movement practice, but I really want it in our movement practices because we want something in between that's going to help us to reset along the way. So taking another deep breath in, breathing out, and when you're ready, we are coming back to center. So if you want a fresh start at any time of day, that is a beautiful one for you. Okay, onto all fours now. So what we want to do with these practices and these techniques that I'm showing with you is we want to break habitual patterns of tension in the body and throughout the day. Okay, so coming down onto all fours, and we're just going into a really nice cat-cow for now. So just looking forward, straight forward with those eyes. There's a small arch in the lower back, and then we're bending right through, curving through the spine. And so we might breathe in as we're looking up and we arch through the back, and then we'll breathe out as we really curl through the spine. And you engage those lower abdominals as well. Deep breath, engage the lower abdominals, and you can get all up into those ribs with this as well. And last one here, and we're just loosening up. Okay, back to all fours. So we might have a nice flat back here. So we pull up a little bit just through the belly, and then we're looking over to one side. So looking around that shoulder and just check out your ass, check out your butt. How's it looking today? And then we turn to the other side, and then check out your butt on the other side. Everything's looking good. And then one more time on each side. So in your own time, keeping a nice flat back and pulling up through that belly button as well. And then the next one that we're going to do is like another cat-cow. We're going to sniff our armpits. Woo! Okay, so eyes looking forward, deep breath in, arch that lower back, and then breathing out. And you might just sniff your left armpit. How's it going? Your fresh start might be just putting on deodorant today and sniffing the other armpit. You don't need to sniff if you don't want to. And two more. So back over to the other side. Little sniff. And the other side. Okay, great. Tuck those toes under, and we're just going to lift off. And we'll hold here. And so there's a little bit of strength activity coming in now. We really do want the strength as well, but we just want to make sure that we reset along the way. So take a couple deep breaths in here. And you might hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you may come down onto your knees, and then you might like to come back up into that lift. Or you may join me and come all the way up into a full plank. And so we're here and we're just taking a few breaths. So nose looks straight down. We want to really pull up through that belly. And the legs are engaged and the glutes are engaged here as well. Taking a couple deep breaths. Wiggle those fingers just to make sure that the fingers are activated and we're not putting all the strength all the pressure onto our wrists and those toes as well. And then from here, so you might be in lift and you might come onto your knees, just here, or you may be in a full plank with me, and we're going to lower very slowly all the way down. And now that we're on our belly, we come up onto our elbows here. Hopefully you can see me okay here. I probably need to move the mat next time a little bit. Okay, so taking a nice deep breath here, and now we're moving into a little vestibular exercise. So I'm going to explain more about this in days to come, but keeping tops of the toes on the ground. And we're going to engage through those legs and through the glutes and pull up a little bit through the tummy. So this is an active pose. This is definitely, there is still a lot going on here. Relaxing down through the shoulders, elbows on the ground, and just keeping those arms nice and parallel so they might be shoulder width apart. Now you're comfortable, we're going to take our gaze up, so really just gently lifting that head and looking up, pulling up through the tummy, making sure everything that we just talked about is engaged still, and then very gently looking down. So you might take a breath in as you look up, and a breath out as you look down. And the vestibular system is it does so much for us. So including these feelings of calm and feelings of being in our body, which we do it in this practice mainly for embodiment. It has so many other positive effects as well. Okay, and back to center, and then we're pushing up one more time. So we're coming back up onto all fours, and from here you might come back and just take a nice stretch for that lower back in baby pose, and your forehead comes to the ground. If you're up for a bit more heat, you might come straight back up into that lift, and if you want even more heat, you might go straight back up into that full plank. So I'm going to leave that up to you. You can have a little stretch in baby pose and meet us back here when you're ready in this nice lift. So we're pulling up through our deep abdominals, relaxing through the shoulders, taking 5 deep breaths here. And 2 more breaths in your own time. And then coming down onto those knees, and then meet me. You might still be in full plank, you might come back down to your knees and then back up, but meeting me now in full plank. And from here, if you need the knees to come down all the way, that's fine too, and otherwise we're just slowly going to come all the way down to the ground, and then once again back up onto those elbows. So a nice deep breath in here. We're resetting again here one more time. So glutes are activated, our quads are also activated, and then our shoulders are down, and we have another vagus nerve reset. So we're going to keep that nose pointed straight ahead. We're keeping our eyes looking straight ahead for now, and really just finding the placement for your arms. So arms shoulder width apart, palms down flat on the ground, pull up a little more through that belly. Okay, and then we're keeping our nose pointed straight toward the front, and you're going to take your eyes now to look up to the left. And we're going to take 5 deep breaths here. And just making sure everything's still engaged as we're doing this, right? So pulling up a little bit through our belly, but our shoulders are down and relaxed. And then when you're ready, you're taking your gaze, looking up to the other side, keeping your nose straight. Sometimes it feels challenging to do. It's like my nose always wants to go where my eyes are. So keeping your nose straight ahead, and then taking those eyes up to the other side. And a few deep breaths here. You can get 5 deep breaths, great. Keeping everything activated, so it's a beautiful active pose. Awesome. From here, coming back up onto all fours, you might take a baby pose stretch here, forehead on the ground. your left leg with me. And just keep that foot nice and flat and it's pointing toward the ceiling. So your head goes down, nose pointing toward the floor. And we just have 10 little pulses here. Breathing out through your mouth or focusing on that breath out through your mouth. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we stretch that leg nice and long. So the toes now are pointing down toward the ground. And then you take your other arm, right arm out. This nice little, I call it a little sandy gecko pose. It has lots of different names. And then if you're feeling up to it with me, then bringing your knee to your chin and just rolling everything in. Take a breath in here and then out. We have 5 of these. If you want more ab work, then you're breathing out as you're coming in. And really we're balancing left and right brain here. You might do one more for good luck. And coming all the way down. And we're swapping over sides. So lifting that right leg, foot goes straight up toward the ceiling. 10 little pulses. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then that leg comes all the way out. Toes pointing down. You might take that other arm out to the side. Take a deep breath in if you want that ab work, breathing out, knee to nose, or knee to nose, or knee to chin. And we have 5 here. And we're really balancing right or left brain. You might do one more for good luck, depending on where you are at. Okay, back for a little baby pose stretch again. That forehead comes to the ground. Nice deep breath in here. And we have just one more round of this lift. So coming back to all fours, tuck the toes, lifting up. And we hold here for 5. Take a nice breath in. You might wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Make sure everything is activated. Coming down onto your knees. You might stay on your knees here, or you may then decide to lift up into full plank again with us for the last time. And then nice and slowly coming all the way down. And back up onto those elbows for the last time. So keeping those hip bones just looking toward the floor, nice and balanced, and you keep the glutes on, keep those quads on, and then those hands just shoulder width apart. Take a nice breath in here. And the last one for the vestibular system. And this time what we're going to do is breathe only through our nose. So depending on where you're at, like how your breathing's going, I feel okay to breathe through my nose. If you do too, then join me. And we're just going to look up again, just a nice gentle gaze up, but breathing only through your nose. Gaze down, breathing in, looking up, breathing out through the nose. I'm going to do one more here. Breathing out through the nose, back to center, and then just one to each side. So breathing in through the nose, looking to your left. Breathing out through the nose, back to center. Breathing in through the nose, looking to your right. And breathing out through the nose and back to center. Hooray! Okay, so we're pushing back up with our hands, come back to baby pose. And this time you might take the knees a little bit wider if you want to. Taking that forehead all the way to the ground. Taking a nice deep breath in. You might like a little shoulder stretch here, so you may like to keep those arms up above your head. But if you are just like wanting to cuddle in and get into baby pose, then just forehead on the ground, and you might take those arms back down. You may bring those knees back in and bring those arms back down to like toward your feet. Just a little bit of love for the body. And coming back to this mantra now, my fresh start. I'm giving myself a fresh start. And so through the movement, through the resets, through the poses, what does this mean to you? What does this mean to you? Take a nice deep breath in. Come to a seated position. You might come to a seated position on your feet, or if that's not comfortable, just coming into a comfortable seated position, okay? Rolling through the shoulders. And you might come back with me into whatever feels good to you right now. And we're coming back into center. Coming back to our higher self, our most powerful parts of us, all coming to the surface. You might close down your eyes, and you may just place one hand on your heart and one on your belly again, and take some nice deep breaths with me. And just coming back to this question, how can I give myself even more of a fresh start today? I've cleared the slate. I have released old judgment. I have let go whatever needed to go before I started this practice. I'm committed, and now I am open and I am ready for whatever is to come. And I give myself the gift of a fresh start. Take a nice breath in with me for the last time. Take your arms up over your head. You might come all the way down into prayer pose, or just hands gently on your lap. Thank you guys so much for joining me for day 1 of SoulFIT. I'm so excited for this practice as it moves through the week. I think I got a little bit carried away today, so we may have gone a bit over time. I haven't checked yet. But we will be back tomorrow at the same time to do this all over again. I hope that you will join us. I hope you got so much out of today's session, and I love you guys so much. Bye.